Alright, so as far as catching bass out here, smallmouth, largemouth, here in Minnesota, Grand Rapids, this is a basic tackle arrangement. Primarily, anytime I'm dealing with bass, I always try to start with plastic worms, and I've always had the best luck with stick worms, or Senko worms, whatever you want to call them. These are pretty heavy duty ones, 5-inch, maybe even 6-inchers. And they each have, they can be rigged in any number of different ways. But I'll show you my favorite way to rig them. And then for the smaller bass, these 4-inch suckers, particularly these green ones with the blue flakes, or anything that's green with red flakes, is kind of the main go-to. Also, been using these with quite a bit of success lately. It's the Missile D-Bomb, Desert Bomb, probably different colors. These are just crawdad looking lures. Early on I had a lot of success with just these stinking white weighted jigs. These are pretty large though. There's a couple different size jig heads you can get out there. Some of them are smaller, these ones were a little bit heavier. But the white ones seem to work really good for a while. And then if you're around lily pads and all that, you know, you got your frogs. I managed to find a couple at Walmart, smaller frogs, which were helpful because a lot of times they hit the dang thing and then they spit it out, because unless you're catching monsters, these are a little bit large on the large side. Or throw a couple crankbaits out there, or rattle traps, maybe without a lip. Okay, now as far as how I rig these, let me show you that. So I pretty much, when dealing with the plastics, I really only have 4 sizes of hooks thereabouts. I got this big son of a gun. I don't remember what number they are, 5/04, 3, 2, 1, whatever, but these ones are pretty damn large. So I don't use those too much unless I'm throwing something super big. I'm mostly using these slightly smaller ones. And then you got these size, which are a bit smaller, and there's 2 different brands here. I prefer Gamakatsu's. They make the best hooks that I've ever used. I've been using them for a long time, and this just kind of gives you an idea of the different sizes there. Now, as far as how to rig up, hopefully you can see this, I don't know, how to rig up these. If I'm running a whatever this missile thing, typically run it right through the tip, pop it out the side. I don't know to what degree you know bass fishing and all that, but it's, you know, quite a bit different than trout fishing and everything else out west. So but these hooks, you know, they have this shelf built right here to hold that part. So there you go, it's made to hold it up, just like that. And then you just kind of measure whereabouts the saddle of the hook will sit, and then you just push it up, pop that part through there, and then boom. And now, depending on how much weeds there are in the area, you might want to peg this hook tip into the belly like that to protect it from snagging. But if you're in open water, or you're not going to hook it across the deal, I just freaking leave it open. It gives you the best chance of a hookup on your fish. So that's typically how I run these crawfish, or any other type of plastic that looks like this. And I'll also do the same thing with the bigger heavy worms if I'm not going to go wacky worm style. So, but let's just say I'm not going to go wacky worm style. I'm going to take this great big hook here, but it's the same way. Just rig it up the same way. Run it through the tip, pop it out the side just as high as that shelf is right there. And then boom, it just holds it on real well. And then again, you look and you see whereabouts that needs to poke through, lift it up, jam it through, pop it out the other side. That was maybe a little bit too far. There, you just want it to sit in that saddle. And then you can also, again, like I said, peg the tip peg the tip so it's sitting like that, and when the bass come on and bite it, they move that. But that's your standard Texas rig or Carolina rig for your hard and soft plastics. Now, my favorite way to rig all of these, particularly the small ones, and I always start out this way if I can, is wacky worm style with even a smaller hook if I can. So what you want to do is get that sucker pegged halfway through that part and then bring it back out and then just set it like that. And there you go. Just run that sucker on there and just huck it out there and let it sink and just jiggle it through the water while it comes back, and that's the best way to rig your wacky worms. But these smaller 4-inch ones seem to be the money. If you're dealing with like 1 to 2 pound bass, they like this smaller one. They'll hit it a lot more than this bigger one, but that's the way I rig that too. Just the same exact way. So that's what I know about plastics and what type of shit you need to buy for catching bass out here in Minnesota. In Minnesota. Oh yeah, he's a healthy boy or girl. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit, he's freaking huge. Damn, bud. Yeah.
He's a good one.
Yeah, he is. Holy shit. Dang, I'm freaking stoked. God damn, buddy. Holy shit. That thing is huge. Yeah. Nice. That thing is freaking huge, man.
I lost your...
It's okay. I got more. God, yeah. Way cool. Hey, boy. Don't get off there, you little bastard. Come here, big guy. Whoa. Oh shit, look, there's 2. I got 2. The other one's trying to eat that one out of its mouth. Hey. He's a good boy, but he's not massive, but he's pretty healthy.